watching the Newshour Agenda. I'm Padmaja Joshi. Over 2 days, the Prime Minister carried out 2 roadshows in Ahmedabad. The Prime Minister's Thursday roadshow was pegged today by the BJP as a record-breaking one. The party said that this was the longest one ever held by any leader, where over 10 lakh people took part, and it took him over 3 hours to cover a distance of just 50 kilometers, much more than expected. Today too, the Prime Minister took out another roadshow in Ahmedabad. This one was shorter but saw a large turnout as well. People lined the streets soon after the Prime Minister had prayed. He came out waving to the hundreds who had gathered by the side of the road. But political corridors with a buzz with the question, what prompted a second roadshow in quick succession? Was it a result of the low turnout witnessed yesterday? The Prime Minister said that this is far from the truth. In fact, he said that yesterday's turnout has already shown which way the wave is. He says it's a wave in favor of the BJP. Addressing a sea of supporters, the PM said that phase 1 polling shows a clear BJP wave. He went on to say that there were signs that the Congress may have given up already.
ईवीएम ने कोसवानु चालू करे एम के ईवीएम में गड़बड़ છે ईवीएम ने રહી જાય તો આમ કરજો ईवीएम એટલે તમારે સમજી જવાનું કે કોંગ્રેસે ઉચાળા ભરી લીધા છે અને કોંગ્રેસે મતદાન પતે પહેલા ચાલુ કરી દીધું કે ईवीएम 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 કોંગ્રેસની વિશેષતા એ છે કે ચૂંટણી ચાલતી હોય ત્યારે મોદીને ગાળો બોલવાની અને ચૂંટણીનું મતદાન આવે ત્યારે ઈવીએમ ને ગાળો દેવાની. આ સીધો સબૂત છે કે આ ચૂંટણીમાં કોંગ્રેસે હાર સ્વીકારી લીધી છે.
But the figures from phase 1, where 89 seats went to polls, have people talking without a doubt. As opposed to 68% of 2017, this time the total voter turnout was at 63.31%, a difference of 4.69%. What is the reason behind it? Does it show chinks in the BJP's armor? Is that the reason why the party decided to field its vote catcher, the Prime Minister, for the second day in a row? Is the reduced turnout a sign of voter anger, which may be a traditional BJP voter but is registering her anger by absenting herself from the polling booth? What really is the answer to that question? It may well decide whether the stage for December 8 has already been set on the 1st of December.
कि इस पूरे चुनाव में गांधी खानदान ने गुजरात के चुनाव का बहिष्कार किया. कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं कि उनके कार्यकर्ताओं ने, उनके वोटर्स ने कांग्रेस का बहिष्कार किया है. आप सभी मीडिया के मित्रों ने कल कई पोलिंग बूथ्स पर जनता जनार्दन के इंटरव्यूज भी किए. ओवरवेलमिंगली जनता ने आपको कहा कि हम भारतीय जनता पार्टी को वोट दे रहे हैं. इसलिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी के लिए आनंद का विषय है कि जितने भी ओवरवेलमिंगली वोट्स पड़े वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी का जो संकल्प है उसी को प्रदर्शित करते हैं. चुनाव न सिर्फ भाजपा लड़ रही है बल्कि गुजरात की जनता भी मोदी के समर्थन में इस चुनाव में उतरी है.
कितनी सीटें कांग्रेस लेंगी गुजरात में?
गुजरात में बहुमत आएगा हमारी सरकार बनेगी.
कितनी सीटें कांग्रेस लेंगी गुजरात में?
गुजरात में बहुमत आएगा हमारी सरकार बनेगी.
You're watching the News Hour at 10. Debate number 1 on Times Now. Super Prime Time.
All right, joining us on the debate, RP Singh, national spokesperson of the BJP, political analyst Dr. Sumanth Raman, Dushyant Nagar and Pankaj Sharma. But first up, I want to take our psephologist and political analyst Jay Mruk straight across to analyze a few of the seats which may tell us a story about this election. Welcome, Jay, on board for this very, very exciting election, and let's go straight to our wall and try and figure out what these seats are which Jay has chosen. I am straight away going to give him all the responsibility. He has chosen these seats and he is going to tell us what story these seats are telling us. All right, let's take a look at the first seat that has been chosen by Jay, and he'll tell us why this is important. The first one is that of Vadhavan. It is in district Surendranagar, which falls in Saurashtra. Last time there was 70% voter turnout. This time it has dropped to 57%, a whopping 13%, just a shade lower than 13%. Why, Jay?
Okay, there's some small, data is kept getting updated in the ECI app. Okay, this is about 65% to 57%. It's about an 8% drop.
Okay.
Now, what we are looking at here is this is also a seat which was in the midst of a controversy last time because of the fact that the Jain candidates were limited in number, and we had the tape of Mr. Vijay Rupani at that point of time saying, okay, there are at least 2 candidates now. This time the BJP has replaced the Jain candidate, right? It's apparently given to a Brahmin. So that's a sort of a discontent that might have shown up in general in terms of disinterest of voters across the political parties.
So is it okay if we say the larger story here is that with the shuffling of candidates, and remember, a huge number of candidates, the sitting MLAs have been changed by the BJP, that could have an effect, not just on the turnout, but the result?
See, sometimes the turnouts are agnostic. They are based by communities that vote for all parties.
You're being safe now. Come on, say it. Say it, Jay.
So, no. So, let's look at it this way. There's a lot that goes into winning an election. There's a lot of last day mobilization, last day cajoling of voters.
Okay.
So, I would still say that, this 8% drop, I'll just correct that number, 70 to 65. That 8% drop does signify that sometimes voters do stay at home.
Okay,
and
changes
they can
may have an impact. Let's take a look at seat number 2, and this one is in Rajkot. Why is the Rajkot seat very important? Because one of the Rajkot seats, of course there are multiple seats in that district, but one of the Rajkot seats is the one from where Mr. Modi himself had first contested. It was where the Jan Sangh in fact won its first election as well. And now if we take a look at Rajkot East, from 69% it has gone down to 62%. What's the story there?
Yeah, in Rajkot East, it's very interesting. It is apparently a Patidar dominated constituency. The BJP candidate is Mr. Umesh Kannad, who is an Ahir. So the BJP is obviously at all points of time experimenting with a new social coalition.
Okay.
As to, can a new candidate weave more communities together, right? But this in general should be viewed as closer to the average turnout drop. So, may not reflect as badly on the BJP, but certainly sometimes should even have the Aam Aadmi Party worried. Why? Because the Aam Aadmi Party candidate, Mr. Rahul Bhua, he is a very leading local Patidar leader. He is like the foremost, example of the Patidar experiment that the Aam Aadmi Party has been trying. Far from Surat and Katargam, it has been trying this experiment in Saurashtra as well.
Okay.
So that's another example.
All right. What does Botad tell us? First, let's take a look at the turnout for Botad. Now, here is a seat where the Prime Minister had held a rally. There's a Congress MLA sitting here, if I am not mistaken. And it was one of the seats that the BJP lost in 2017. The Prime Minister in his rally said, you've made a mistake once, don't make the mistake again, he was telling the voters, because then you will have to suffer the consequences, because development did not come to your constituency. 79% last time around this Saurashtra seat, and now it is down to 57%.
So actually the data, I brought the laptop for that. A lot of the data kept updating the viewers. I'll just tell the viewers the data, don't necessarily need to go with what's on the screen. It was 79 in 12, then in 17 to 69, and now it's down to about 63.
Okay.
So it's been a continuous decline.
Okay.
Now what is interesting is this seat has seen a decline similar to a city, about a 6% decline, right? And that decline is something that is actually somewhat symptomatic, because Botad is also the birthplace of Mr. Gopal Italia.
Okay.
So in a way, the Patidar agitation, though appearing very Surat-centric, does have a lot of its branches and offshoots in Saurashtra. So across Saurashtra, you're seeing ripples somewhere. Okay,
so the Patidar agitation, which most people think has frittered away, there is still a little remnant of the Patidar agitation angle. Would you be safe to say that? All right, let's take a look at the next seat then and see how that reflects and what is the story that it tells us. We are talking about the seat of Pardi. 71% down to 63%. What's the story here?
Yeah. Now, Pardi is a very fascinating story. Last time, close to 70% of the turnout, and now about 63.5%. See, you have 3 seats there in a row. You have Bardoli up near Surat, you have Pardi, you have Umargaon. all of them are, some things what we in a census would call the census town. An aspiring, locality which is trying to grow into a municipality first. Okay. This is the industrial belt of Gujarat. Fairly tribal and fairly industrial. Now, what has happened there is, a lot of the candidates of the non-BJP parties, like the AAP, they have been like people who are Gram Panchayat leaders, Zilla Panchayat leaders.
So basically what the Aam Aadmi Party has done, if there was somebody who was a corporator in the BJP, unko Vidhayak ka ticket de diya.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sort of seems to have opened up the contest. So the
because
dip
the
is not
loyalty
as
is
huge.
divided, उस BJP corporator के भी अपने कुछ voters हैं, who rather than having to make a choice between Aam Aadmi Party and BJP, have decided to sit it out.
Sit it out, absolutely.
All right. So let's now take this over to our guests. Here are the few big messages that we have. The few big messages that we have from the seats that we have analyzed. RP Singh, first of all, answer the criticism that 2 days, 2 road show, low turnout, is it a sign of nervousness?
Well, I'll appreciate run the clippings again, and then you'll understand whether the turnout is low or people are responding. And I don't know what is your parameter of the turnout. My parameter is if there are 10 lakh people on road to see the Prime Minister and to see the son of the soil, it's not a low turnout. And I'll appreciate, ask your Times of India correspondent to check and verify this?
No, sir, we mean low turnout in the polls yesterday. In the first phase of polling, when a low turnout has happened, the message being sent out is that one, your rebel candidates may be hurting. Two, the fact that the Aam Aadmi Party has taken a lot of BJP corporators, BJP Zilla Panchayat leaders and have given them a ticket to fight for the assembly. There may be divided loyalties over there and the remnants of the partidar agitation anger. These are the three big messages that Jai Mrug is giving. Does that worry you?
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. I took it. Otherwise, I said you're saying that there's low turnout at the Prime Minister's road show. But okay, that point aside, just the way the Aam Aadmi Party functions, they poach upon the political leaders, the dissident in various parties, and then they give them tickets, thinking that they will win elections. That's not going to happen. Here, people are going to vote for contiguity of 27 years of good governance, and the Prime Minister being son of the soil and Prime Minister representing Gujarat and he being the Prime Minister, these are two major factors that are working there.
Okay, so this is not about nervousness, this is about putting the son of the soil out there, Dr. Sumanth Raman. And 10 lakh people turned up yesterday. That's enough proof.
Before that, Padmaja, I'm just trying to register the irony of Mr. RP Singh saying, horror of horrors, Aam Aadmi Party is poaching MLAs and corporators from other parties. I mean, for God's sake, Mr. RP Singh, how do you think you formed the government in Karnataka? How do you think you formed the government in Madhya Pradesh? The list goes on and on and on.
That the reason why there is divided loyalty of voters is because the Aam Aadmi Party has fielded many leaders from the BJP.
Padmaja, he said that is not what Mr. RP Singh said, and I have countered that. Now let's look at the facts on the ground.
I meant the BJP. No, please don't put words into my mouth.
Ahmedabad alone.
Don't put words into my mouth. I said that this style
exactly
of
what you said. Aam Aadmi Party is poaching people from us.
Okay, please move on. It's basically the argument is that here is a man who has appealed, he is son of the soil, 10 lakh turned up yesterday, today also people lining the streets, where is the nervousness? Look at the people turning up.
They can turn up, Padmaja. It is clear that the fact that the Prime Minister is having to campaign virtually, constituency to constituency, roadshow after roadshow, rally after rally, that is probably speaking more eloquently about the BJP's confidence levels than anything else. They have to use all their heavy artillery, and their trump card in order to retain power. That itself is telling. The second point, Padmaja, why would a party that has so confident... No, 1 minute, Mr. Singh, let me finish. I didn't interrupt you. I didn't interrupt you.
Go on. Yes,
I didn't interrupt you. 1 minute. Clearly, the BJP does not have anything left except the Prime Minister's charisma. And now, going forward, I wouldn't be surprised even if there were municipal elections, Mr. Modi has to save the party because otherwise they won't win.
So since you generally support the Aam Aadmi Party, you literally have two chief ministers campaigning for you everywhere.
Padmaja.
From municipality to assembly.
One second. Where are the... One second. Aam Aadmi Party is an emerging party. It is not a force even comparable to the BJP at this stage. Second, very importantly, a party that has delivered good governance and has supreme confidence has to replace more than 41 of its MLAs and not give them a ticket again. In Ahmedabad, out of 12 seats, 10 sitting MLAs have been replaced, have been denied tickets. What does it say? It says that there is
RP Singh, you respond to that, then Jay will give his analysis.
Don't want the sitting MLAs and
if everything was hunky-dory, why are you having to change your MLAs?
Bail the party out.
Okay, that's point number 2. Go on, RP Singh. Why did you change?
Thank you, Mr. Sumanth Raman. We have a leader, we have policies, and a leader who leads from the front. The problem is, unlike Congress, the leader is somewhere else, elections are somewhere else, battlefield is somewhere else, the leader is somewhere else. So it's not like that. We accept it. I mean, if you take it as a position of advantage, or you say that, oh, why the leader should be coming and pitching for assembly election, that's your point of view. Our point of view is that he's the son of the soil. He's the face of the party also. And then if some votes can come and votes can be shifted because of him, there's no harm in it. And then we appreciate that, and people of Gujarat loves them. We all of us know all those interviews which are running on various channels categorically shows that people of Gujarat are going to vote for the BJP and Prime Minister Modi. But coming to
the point where
Sumanth Raman is saying that
it's Bhupendra Patel. What is the doubt about it? The Prime Minister himself has said it multiple times. He's done multiple roadshows with Bhupendra Patel.
One minute.
In fact, the Prime Minister, beginning of the year, took out one of the first few roadshows with Bhupendra Patel. Anyway, let's move on. Jay, what do you make of this argument that replacement of sitting MLAs with new faces is sign of nervousness, perhaps because of the factors that you listed?
Now, see, if you look at it historically, it has been an integral part of the BJP Gujarat strategy to replace almost 25% MLAs every time. So it's been happening in 2007, 12, 17, every time. So this time it is a little higher, but it seems to be a scaling up of the same strategy. So I don't see anything new per se in that sort of a strategy of replacing MLAs. See, about, of course, also about the Prime Minister.
But tell me this, okay, fine, you have replaced MLAs because you do it periodically. But doesn't it have a blowback? Because, say, Vijay Rupani, he was the Chief Minister first, he was removed, then he was not even given a ticket, he himself stepped away from contesting the elections. But he will also have his dedicated set of supporters, right? Who might be BJP loyalists, but they are Rupani loyalists first. They will say, I will not vote for the BJP candidate, I will vote for Rupani.
Yeah,
they could.
No, this phenomenon happens across all states and I think across all parties. See, every party that has matured from being a 2 or 3 state party to a nationwide footprint party does face these problems.
But
I mean, they happen even within
any
regional
other state
parties.
or any other party where, a chief minister has been changed and then has also not fought the elections. In recent memory, can you think of any such example?
Well, let me tell you one thing. Some example which everybody would love. No, let me give an example which everybody would have forgotten. Mr. P.V. Narasimha Rao, 1996 was his last election, parliamentary. 1998, he did not even contest. This is a former Prime Minister, a former President of the Congress Party.
Okay.
Padmaja.
All right. So it happens. It happens and the BJP doesn't.
Padmaja, you didn't allow me to complete my point.
Yes,
Padmaja, you didn't allow me to complete my point.
Yes, go on.
Padmaja, you didn't allow me to, one statement. I said, who is the chief ministerial candidate of the BJP in Gujarat? You said Bhupendra Patel. Logically, shouldn't he be the face of the campaign? That was the question I was coming to ask. Shouldn't he be the one driving this? The Prime Minister comes in, addresses 2 or 3 rallies. Instead, the Prime Minister is the face of the campaign. Is he going to be the Chief Minister of Gujarat once the BJP wins? No.
Is
the
not
Chief
Mrs.
Minister of
Sonia
Gujarat
Gandhi
has
the face
become
of
an
the Congress,
incidental player in this entire thing.
Okay, Jay has a question for you. Yes.
Yeah, look.
Sorry, sir. There are regional leaders Sorry.
Yeah, look, Mrs. Sonia Gandhi has also been the face of the Congress for many of the campaigns.
The workload in
right?
Rajasthan, Sachin Pilot would do that.
But
No, but my point is,
what
the
is
BJP
wrong?
is
Then tell me one thing, Mr.
becoming
Sumanth Raman. What is wrong with
completely
the
dependent on one
national
individual?
leadership of
It
a
was
party
supposed to be
standing
no
by
scientist.
an incumbent and fresh chief minister?
Sir,
And
Don't you think you would need that
anyhow,
benefit?
with the greatest of respect, anyone who
Sir,
watches rallies
Padmaja,
can
can I
see
interject?
from
Why
the
is
Prime
he-
Minister
why is he
right
a
down
fresh
to
chief
members of
minister?
Parliament
In-
to MLAs, everyone
in
is
8
campaigning.
years.
Which rule says that you cannot
8
have
years.
the chief minister
After
and the other
14
senior leaders
years,
campaigning? Anyhow, let me
after-
take
one
this
minute.
across to Pankaj Sharma and Dushant Nagar, who are listening very
14
patiently right
years,
now.
14 years you
Pankaj
had.
Can I make a
Sharma, what
point,
do you
Padmaja,
read? Just
please?
second, Mr. RP Singh, just second, because others haven't spoken yet. Mr.
Padmaja,
Pankaj
can I
Sharma, what do
answer
you
it?
read into the low turnout? What is your analysis? Because the Congress is now being charged by Smriti Irani saying that Congress did not campaign wholeheartedly in Gujarat. That is why their voters have also deserted them and deserted the polling booth. Mr. Sharma.
Actually, in my opinion, my assessment is that BJP voters have deserted BJP. There is a very, very severe unrest within the BJP. There is a rebellion. So one thing is clear because of this very, very low voters reached to the polling stations. One thing is clear that this low poll from 8 to 22% in the first phase, BJP's claim to win 150, 140, 130 seats this time are now biting the dust, collapsed. In most of the 89 seats, BJP is not assured of its victory. I mean, they can hardly win, as per my assessment, 18 to 19 seats in the first phase. So raids on Surat's diamond businessmen immediately after the first phase poll was over is indicative of this.
But sir,
What
why are you so confident that it is the BJP's voter who hasn't reached the polling booth
BJP
and not the Congress? Because if there is one thing that the BJP prides itself on is कि और कुछ होना हो हम वोटर को polling booth तो पहुंचा देंगे. So voter turnout with all that page committee and their Panna Pramukh and their Shakti Kendra, one thing they say कि हमारा आदमी आपको booth तक पहुंचा देगा, उसके बाद आप वोट किसको दोगे वो आपकी मर्जी है.
See, after so many rallies, longest ever road show by the Prime Minister, BJP voters didn't go to the polling booths.
But how do you know the BJP voters who didn't go? Maybe they are Congress voters.
Everyone in the assembly constituencies are saying this. BJP leaders are saying this.
Which
RSS
BJP leaders
pracharaks are saying this. RSS pracharaks are saying this.
Which
They have
RSS
sent their
pracharak is saying
reports.
this?
They have sent their reports that we have to concentrate, we have to focus on second phase. Because
whom?
that is what happened in the
whom?
first
RP
phase.
Singh.
To Rahul Gandhi.
See, in rural areas, BJP is weak.
No, they have
Now
sent
in
report to Rahul
urban areas also, people have realized that the Gujarat model of development was actually a farce.
So you are
because
quoting,
of all these things-
BJP leaders, you are quoting RSS pracharaks, but the Prime Minister himself today in Ahmedabad said that the first phase has made it absolutely clear कि भाजपा की लहर चल रही है. प्रधानमंत्री तो कह रहे हैं भाजपा की लहर है, आप कह रहे हैं प्रचारक उल्टा बोल रहे हैं.
Prime Minister has to say this. Prime Minister has to say this to keep the moral
All right,
high
RP
of
Singh.
BJP
Rahul
workers
Gandhi
for the
ko.
second
Prime Minister
phase.
is saying one thing, but RSS pracharaks are telling quite another thing to Mr. Pankaj Sharma. RP Singh.
No, I need to ask Mr. Pankaj Sharma. वो आरएसएस के प्रचारकों ने बीजेपी के कार्यकर्ताओं ने रिपोर्ट राहुल गांधी को भेजी है.
No, they have sent the report to Mohan Bhagwat ji.
सोनिया गांधी को भेजी है, पंकज शर्मा को भेजी है. अरे सर,
You check it. They have sent their reports to Nagpur headquarters.
अरे सर,
Please
राहुल
check
गांधी
it.
की रिपोर्ट बताइए
RSS
आप.
Balas will
राहुल
might
गांधी
not
को
tell you
बुलाया
this.
नहीं. कांग्रेस के लोगों ने राहुल गांधी को बुलाया नहीं कि आप आम जाना, हम चुनाव हार जाएंगे.
Rahul Gandhi was there.
Rahul Gandhi ko
was
Okay, so secret report has been sent to Mohan Bhagwat. Dushant Nagar ji, have you also seen that secret report? And if you have, please say कि कौन-कौन सी सीटों में बीजेपी को नुकसान हो रहा है, क्योंकि सबने वो रिपोर्ट देखी है, आरपी सिंह को छोड़ के. दुष्यंत नागर.
देखिए 11 सीटें ऐसी थी पिछली बार जहां भारतीय जनता पार्टी का मार्जिन 2% के आसपास था, 20 सीट ऐसी थी जहां पे 5% के आसपास था। तो 89 सीटों में से 30 सीटें भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने बहुत कम मार्जिन से जीती। और जिस प्रकार से अब की बार वोटर टर्नआउट काफी कम रहा है और जो फीडबैक आ रहा है, जो मीडिया से खबरें आ रही हैं, अलग अलग पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के लोग जो बता रहे हैं, युवाओं में रोजगार को लेकर नाराजगी है, बिजनेसमैन परेशान हैं। और जैसा शर्मा जी ने बताया कि सूरत की डायमंड मार्केट जो है देश की बड़ी मार्केट है, वहां भी उनकी भी अर्थव्यवस्था काफी खराब है। तो ये सारी चीजें दिखाती हैं कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी को पहले फेज के चुनाव में बड़ा राजनीतिक रूप से नुकसान होने जा रहा है।
Okay, everyone has given their analysis, but no one has quite explained what is their finding or their analysis based on. However, there can be many factors at play. We sit here dissecting each seat, but if you ask some people in Gujarat, they will say, "Abhi शादी का season चल रहा है, शायद इसीलिए लोग वोट डालने नहीं गए." So it could be something as random as that. But I'm completely out of time, unfortunately, gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining me. We'll keep giving you this micro analysis as the days progress, and we are counting down to phase 2 and of course results day. Thanks very much for joining me.